In the 20 years that the new Triumph company has been in existence, they've shown that they've not been afraid to take on the best manufacturers in the world and enter into market segments where there's already an established and typically brilliant leader. And more often than not, they've come up with a machine which has been as good as, if not better, than the established rivals. That's pretty impressive if you think about it. Triumph have been trying to crack the American cruiser market since they introduced the Thunderbird in 2009. And to be brutally frank, they haven't done the job. But they don't give up, and they're hoping that this bike will make amends. This is Triumph's Thunderbird LT. And if you hadn't already guessed, they've got a certain American manufacturer firmly in their sights. Did anybody mention Milwaukee? Back in the 1960s, there were howls of derision when the well-balanced and smooth 500cc Triumph Parallel Twin was enlarged to 650cc. As a result, vibration was more noticeable, and when the engine was taken out to 750cc, it reached stratospheric levels. I should know, I've owned several and my fingers are still tingling. The Thunderbird has a parallel twin engine of 1700cc, so it should shake itself to bits. But thanks to modern balancer shaft technology, it's as smooth as any V-twin. 93 brake horsepower and 111 pounds of torque make for effortless performance, but it doesn't have nearly as much character as a V-twin or even any of Triumph's triple-cylinder engines. It feels as if Triumph have just gone for size just for the sake of it, and I'm not convinced it's worked. Where this bike scores is in impeccable chassis behaviour and rider comfort. These big cruisers, they always feel sure-footed and handle really, really nicely, even if their ultimate cornering power is a bit compromised by the low foot pegs. You find yourself scraping on anything but the mildest corner. The suspension on the T-Bird is a brilliant compromise between comfort and control. And coupled with this amazingly comfortable seat, it makes the bike a lovely thing to ride. The easily detachable screen is surprisingly effective. The reach to the bar is perfect, and the large footboards, well, it means you can just angle your feet to be comfortable in any position. The only thing that may be missing is a bit of a cutout on this very wide tank, so you can get your knees a little bit further in and you're not sitting so far with your legs apart. But really on comfort, this bike can't be faulted. The quality is there too, from the lustrous chrome to the traditionally gorgeous Triumph paintwork, and some lovely attention to detail. For example, the panniers are made from real leather and come with waterproof inners, a 12-volt power socket and smaller pockets for cell phone, wallets, etc. And they can be removed if you want, as can the pillion pad and sissy bar, leaving no brackets or bolts visible. Cables are hidden away in the handlebars, the mudguards are deeply valanced, and the tyres are naturally white walls. Triumph have opted for the typically American enormous look, and if there is one criticism, it's that the styling is too derivative. They've borrowed the style wholesale and not given it any Triumph individuality. If I'm honest, while I'm a Triumph fan, I feel that this isn't one of their best efforts. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the Thunderbird LT, and plenty that's right. At 220,000, it comes in at a healthy 55,000 rand cheaper than the equivalent Harley Road King Classic. Although I suspect that at this level, saving money is really not that important. Is it enough to take sales away from the traditional American touring market, where a V-twin is seen as almost a default choice? I'm not convinced it is. Buyers in this market are buying a lifestyle as much as a motorcycle, and while Triumph are doing a good job in this respect, there's no doubt that Harley are still king of the road when it comes to involving their customers. But it's good to see a viable alternative coming forward in the cruiser segment. After all, not everyone loves America.
like the look of that bike, don't you? But I've got a feeling, Harry, it's like you want to say something, but you're not quite getting there. Don't be shy, don't hold back.
As I said at the beginning, Triumph have never been afraid to just enter into a market segment where there's been an established leader and actually make a really good job of it. I just find this is the least convincing attempt at sort of matching another manufacturer, and obviously they're going for the American market.
Yeah.
It's
like a sincere form of imitation and flattery, but
it's just not. I don't think they've quite got there. They really have just imitated. They haven't kind of innovated or brought anything new to the party. Look, I mean, it wins on price. It's about 220,000, and the equivalent Harley is about 200. Well, it's about 55,000 rand more.
What is the equivalent
It's
Harley?
the Road King Classic. So it's got a sort of little bikini fairing at the front, and it's.
No one. Then basically, what you're saying is nobody does American cruiser type stuff as well as Americans.
No.
If you want that kind of gig from your bike, then what you're saying is go American.
I've got to say, and I love Triumph, but I've just got to say, yeah, if you're going to go for a cruiser, it has to be American. An Indian or a Victory or a Harley. Harsh, but true.
Harsh. Yeah, and I think that's probably quite fair. It is a good bike, and if you're particularly into the English brand, then why not? It's a good buy. But if you want proper cruising muscle type of thing, you gotta go American, I'm afraid. OK, we will be back after the break with lots more for you to catch up with.